Hey guys, I hope you guys are having a great day today. Today we are going to talk about my No Palette Left Behind challenge. This is the mid-year update for that project. I have been trying to work on each of my palettes for about 6 months now, and we are gonna get to talking about what palettes I reached my goal of 5 uses of. So I'm just gonna pull up my counter app here. I have all of the palettes in my collection listed in this counter app, and I've been updating it each time as I've been using them. So I did finish a couple palettes this past month, and we're gonna get into it. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Vivian. I'm a robotics engineer with a love for all things beauty and makeup related, and I love try new makeup, but I also want to make sure that I'm getting a lot of use out of the products that are currently in my collection. So if that sounds like the kind of content that you're interested in, be sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already. Also want to mention that I'm doing a lot of filming today just because there are a lot of monthly updates that I typically have that, I don't know, just they all ended up being filmed today. So if you see me wearing the same shirt for the next couple of videos, that is why. Let's get into the project update though. There is one palette that I did end up reaching my goal of, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Super Nudes palette. If you watch my Shop My Stash series, you'll know that I put this in my Shop My Stash for the month of June, and I did end up reaching my goal of 5 uses. So that is currently 3 palettes that I've reached my goal for. There are a couple palettes where I have like 3 or 4 uses that I need to work on, and there are a lot of palettes that have only been used once, unfortunately. So we are going to try and remedy that this next update. As for each of the palettes, I've used my Nabla side-by-side palette 3 times already. I used my Nabla Miami Lights palette 3 times, and that's specifically because of Taylor Swift. When I went to the Taylor Swift concert, I used that as like glitter for the concert, so that was a good way to get usage out of that. I have only used my Makeup Revolution and Soph palette once. I've only used my Beauty Bay Utopia palette once. I've only used my... Oh, okay, so these next couple eyeshadow palettes I've also only used once. So the Pat McGrath Celestial Odyssey, Pat McGrath Utopian Dreams, Natasha Denona Viva, ColourPop Going Coconuts, Maybelline Nudes of New York, Makeup Revolution, and Friends. Those have all only been used once. So I don't know, I definitely have a lot of improvement that I need to do. There are a lot of palettes in here, and the thing is, these are all palettes that are, not all of them, quite a few of them are palettes that are very much like colorful palettes, and that's not something that I reach for on the everyday. Usually I'll do just a look like this where it's like a transitional color, a little winged liner, and like maybe a sparkle on top. My eyeshadow preferences are very minimal. Most of the time I don't even wear eyeshadow when I do my makeup, so I kind of have to push myself to use these. But I do have 6 months left in the project still, so I have hope that I will reach those goals of 5 uses per palette. There is one palette in here that I've used 2 times so far, which is the Urban Decay Naked Wild West palette. I've used my e.l.f. Cream and Sugar palette 3 times. I've used my Unleashia Olive Browns palette 4 times. And I have used my Nabla Cutie Midnights palette 0 times. And that is because when I first was thinking this out, I was planning on using my Cutie Midnights palette during my looks for the Taylor Swift concert, and that just didn't end up happening. So I didn't use that as much as I thought I would, unfortunately. But I am looking forward to seeing what I'm gonna use this next month. I still need to do my Shop My Stash, so I'm gonna try and pick a palette that I haven't used to put in my Shop My Stash to try and get more usage out of it for this next month, or this next rotation. Yeah, those are my updates. They're not very exciting. I don't know. I don't know if I can reasonably accomplish this goal. I'm gonna try my hardest. I think I just really need to chill out a little bit and One thing that I am proud of is that I haven't bought an eyeshadow palette in the last couple months. I think the last one that I did buy was the Unleashia Olive Browns palette, and that one I used 4 times already. So definitely have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I'm honestly considering doing a second declutter of eyeshadow palettes just because I have so many and I really don't need that many. And while I do like a lot of them, just looking at my usage, you can see that I don't use them. And I don't know, I definitely don't want anything to go to waste. I definitely don't want, especially my more expensive palettes, to go to waste, like my Pat McGrath palettes. I just need to force myself to use them. I will also say that I really haven't been home lately, like where my makeup storage is, and because of that, I don't really reach for the more colorful ones like when I'm out and about, just because 1, I don't really want to carry a lot of eyeshadow palettes with me, and 2, I don't know, there's something different about just like sitting and filming and having a fun eyeshadow look versus going out with a fun eyeshadow look. I think I'm just really boring. Maybe I'm a little too boring. Maybe I should work on that. I do have quite a long way to go with some of my eyeshadow palettes, especially the colorful ones. And keep in mind that I did declutter 5 of them already because I had all of those colorful ColourPop 9-pan eyeshadow palettes that I ended up decluttering and giving to a friend just because I wasn't using them and I didn't think it was reasonable to keep them. And I still haven't really been using my eyeshadow palette. I've been putting an eyeshadow palette in my Shop My Stash every month, and that seems to work for me to get myself to use them. Progress is still slow. I still need to really focus on using them and using eyeshadow more, especially if I want to keep the number of eyeshadow palettes that I have. That felt really ranty. I don't even know if half of that made sense. I think I just need to sit down and try and create some looks, maybe sit down and just look at my eyeshadow palettes and do another declutter, because the progress that I've had lately has not been what I was aiming towards, what I was gearing towards. And I think I just need to, I don't know, either condense or figure out a system to get me to use eyeshadow palettes more. I did use my Nabla side-by-side palette today for this eyeshadow look. You can't really see the glittery sparkles on top, but there is a little bit of glitter on there, and there's a little bit of extra glitter like on my inner corners. Not inner corners, but like this little swoopity boopity thing right there. I don't know what that's called. That's one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, and that only put me to 3 uses for the Nabla side-by-side palette. So definitely need to use them more. One thing also is that some of these palettes are quite bulky, and since I do spend a lot of my time traveling, I just don't really take bulky palettes with me, and so, you know, it's kind of hard to find a palette or pick a palette that is compact that I haven't already used. So I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. The next update for this challenge is gonna be in September. So that gives me 3 more months to really work my way through some of these products or some of these palettes. I think that I can do it for a couple of them. Like, I think I could finish ColourPop Going Coconuts easily. I think I could finish Maybelline News of New York easily. I just need to sit down and use them. I think by the end of this project, the ones that are going to be left without like reaching the goal are going to be the colorful ones. I just realistically don't wear color that often, and I find myself not reaching for it, not wanting to, and I don't know, maybe that means I need to do a second pass of all my palettes and figure out which ones I like and which ones I don't like. And that's really hard for me because I do feel like I like all of the ones I have right now. That's pretty much it for this video though. I know that it's really short. I know that it's really ranty. I know that this just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of talked for like half an hour. Not even half an hour. I think I just like talked for 10 minutes without really saying anything. I have only completed my goal on 1 more palette, so that's a total of 3 palettes. I'm pretty close with 3 or 4 other palettes, and then the rest I have a long way to go. So I hope that by the time that this update rolls around in September, I'll have made a little bit more usage out of them. I'm trying my best. I really am. I just don't work with color a lot. I just don't wear eyeshadow a lot. and it's crazy to me. I thought I could use each of my eyeshadow palettes 10 times because I can barely use them 5 times. I hope you guys are having a great day today. I know this palette update wasn't very exciting, but I'm trying my best. I'm working my way through them. I am gonna continue using these new palettes, or not new palettes, I'm gonna continue using these palettes, and at the very least, the one thing that I've gotten out of this so far is that I haven't bought any new eyeshadow palettes, and I feel like that's really good. I feel like that's really good progress. I have not been interested in any new eyeshadow palette releases lately. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day today. I know that it's like really muggy out today, so if my lighting looks a little bit weird, I am sorry. Be sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already, and hopefully in September this will be a better update for you guys. Hopefully I'll have a lot more of these checked off. Hopefully I'll have just a lot more usage checked off. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!